Hello, and welcome to the Cruise in Review Podcast. I'm Blake.
And I'm Audrey.
Welcome to the show. Today on the show, we have a great episode lined up for you talking about Cozumel, Mexico. But first, go subscribe to our YouTube channel for all the latest updates, videos, podcast, everything that comes your way via that platform. If you don't have time to complete the entire show, or maybe you're on the go, or you want to listen to some of our episodes and don't have time to sit down in front of the TV or the phone, you can listen on the go just about anywhere you get your podcast. But for those options, you can go to CruiseNReview.com/podcast to see all of our watch and listen options. Be sure to follow us on social media,
Yes.
Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, LinkedIn. That is Norris Frog. He is the executive producer of the show. We are proud to be the only podcast in the Western Hemisphere with a Build-A-Bear as a executive producer. So nothing like us. And of course, you can go to our website, latest news, information. You can help book travel. We are a full-service travel agency as well. You can go to CruiseNReview.com. But enough about all of that. Today, we are talking about one of the staples of the Western Caribbean, and that is Cozumel, Mexico.
Yes, and I can't remember how many times we've been there, but every time it's a blast. So I'm excited to talk about that today. We've done so many different things in Cozumel. I know we're going to get to all those things. And fun fact, Norris Frog's cousin lives in Cozumel. So as Blake said, executive producer Norris Frog. I'm sure we'll talk about that too. But his cousin, Senior Frog, lives in Cozumel. So
Yes.
he's also a big fan.
Very well traveled.
Of
Senior
Cozumel.
Frog. You may have run into him in multiple places,
Yeah.
Senior Frog. But a couple of quick facts about Cozumel. Now, you probably know about Cozumel if you've cruised at all. A lot of our cruisers are from Arkansas. A lot of our listeners are from Arkansas, right here at home. And a lot of them cruise out of New Orleans, Galveston area. A lot of those are Western Caribbean itineraries. Almost all of them call in Cozumel. Because of that, Cozumel is one of the busiest cruise ports in the Caribbean as far as ports of call. It tangles and goes back and forth with Nassau as the busiest port of call in the Caribbean. And lately, because of some of the private islands around the Bahamas, Cozumel has consistently been taking the cake as the busiest port in the Caribbean. It's a staple of all Western Caribbean itineraries, as we said. If you're going to the Western Caribbean, you're probably going to stop in Cozumel. It's an island. Cozumel is actually an island. I think most people know this, but sometimes you go there, you arrive on a cruise, you're a little disoriented, you don't know, but it's actually an island. It's located about 12 miles off the coast of the Yucatan Peninsula. On a clear day, you can actually see the Yucatan Peninsula. Now, there's some confusion about this. Some people think that town you can see just across from Cozumel is Cancun. That is not accurate. Cozumel is actually located about 51 miles from Cancun. Most of the island is actually uninhabited. Where you see the town of Cozumel, that's a lot of it. That's it.
Yeah.
In fact, a lot of the workers and things that you see come from the mainland via ferry. From that 12-mile channel there that you can travel. The closest city, also where most of your beaches are located, is Playa del Carmen. So if you take the ferry, chances are you're going to Playa del Carmen, and that is where most of your beaches are. Cozumel is not exactly known as a beachy destination. It's a flat, rocky island. It does have beaches. It has some man-made beaches, but they are not going to be the best top beaches you see in the Caribbean. If you want good white sand beaches, take the ferry or a ship tour and go across to Playa del Carmen. If you're wanting to travel to Mexico strictly as a trip, that's why you hear a lot of people going to Cancun.
Yes.
Some people do go to Playa del Carmen and then visit Cozumel. But Cozumel is better known for snorkeling. It's better known for scenic areas. We mentioned most of the island is uninhabited, similar to maybe Aruba, the back end of the island. And we'll show you kind of this on a satellite image map. You'll notice there's not a lot over here. Very rocky. A lot of rocks, cave formations, kind of a big high surf area over there. But it's very good because of that reason. For ATV riding and Jeep tours. Again, snorkeling. One of my favorite snorkeling tours we've ever done was the Palancar Reef.
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like by this point, we've done several different things in Cozumel. We've done the Jeep tours. We've done the snorkeling trips. We've done the tequila tastings. We've gone to the beach. But yeah, Blake said one of the highlights of going to Cozumel is the snorkeling. The water is super clear in Cozumel. And so on a nice sunny day, especially, it's amazing how far you can see, what you can see. So yeah, if you're into snorkeling, Cozumel is definitely a great place to do that.
It is consistently some of the best snorkeling, some of the clearest water in the Caribbean. A lot of times when you pull up on the ship, you look straight down off of the ship. You can actually see bottom. It's about 80 feet deep. right there, 80 to 100 feet deep, and you're seeing the bottom. It's and again, so good snorkeling. And you want beaches. There are some kind of some cool activity places. The Mayan ruins are also near there. You can go to Tulum. You can do some of those things from Cozumel, but a lot of that's going to take you back over to the mainland. Keep in mind that will be a 12-mile ferry ride across a channel. On a good day, not so bad. On a rough day, be cautious about seasickness. Take your Dramamine, use your sea bands, because it can be a bumpy ferry ride over there. But if you're looking for the beaches, you're looking for Tulum, you're looking for those things, that you can get there from Cozumel.
Yeah, and I will say we've done that before. I know we've talked about I do battle with seasickness. It is worth it because the Playa del Carmen, the beaches over there are beautiful. If that's something you're really interested in, it's, the ferry is a little rocky if it's a rough sea day, but I mean, you just take your Dramamine, you'll be fine. I think I ended up falling asleep, which also helps too with that issue. But it's totally worth it. So if that's something you're into, it absolutely jump on the water taxi, I think is what it was called, and have at it. It's definitely a good time.
Yeah, it takes you probably about an hour. So prepare for that. You can go on your own. You can buy tickets on your own, or the ship tour will provide that for you. But it's about an hour over there. And again, good beaches, some shopping over there, very nice area, and again, access to some of the Mayan ruins and things like that. But for the purpose of this podcast, we're going to stay in Cozumel and some of our favorite things to do. Now, we did visit this. We're continuing kind of the last two episodes have been Mexico. But if you want to go back after you watch this one and see the rest, we've been talking about some of the destinations on our latest 7-night Western Caribbean cruise on board Allure of the Seas. We did a full expose on Oasis-class ships, including Allure of the Seas. Then the last episode, we did talk about Costa Maya and a beautiful little town there called Mahahual, which is the kind of the local town right by Puerto Costa Maya. But now we're continuing on with Mexico. So some of our favorite things to do there. Number one, if you're like us, we love Mexican food.
Yes, absolutely. And Cozumel is the place you can find it anywhere, really. You can go local, you can go commercial restaurants, but it's all so authentic and so good. And I bet we're about to talk about our favorite place, which is.
So you can go to Ernesto's is our favorite place. Now, you're looking for something authentic. There's obviously North Frog's cousin, Senior Frogs. Always a good time. If you enjoy the tequila, you enjoy everything else. There's a lot of
a party.
If you want to party, there's a lot of chain restaurants right there in the port area. Our advice, if you want to get the cheaper option, if you want to get maybe a little bit more of an authentic option, go outside of the port. Now, Ernesto's it's a very authentic Mexican restaurant, locally owned place, literally a hole in the wall. You actually see this place. You go in and it's open air. It's got walls, but it doesn't have a door. It doesn't have windows. It just goes out and it opens up. You can actually see the ships it kind of goes out into a deck and sits over the ocean there, right near the pier. And one of my favorite things about it is it's great to either start or end your day if you're traveling via cruise at Ernesto's, because it's only a 5-minute walk from the International Pier, which is where Royal Caribbean, MSC, some of those dock. It's a 10-minute walk from the Puerto Maya Pier, which is where Carnival docks.
Yes.
So Carnival, Princess, Holland America, those cruise lines are going to dock there. Now Disney, Norwegian, they actually dock a little further down at the downtown pier. About a $10 taxi ride can get you back to around Ernesto's, but there's lots of good restaurants at the downtown pier as well. But we're talking about Puerto Maya Pier, International Pier, Royal Caribbean, Carnival, MSC, Princess, Holland America, those cruise lines. So about a 5 to 10 minute walk, depending on which of those ports that you're at. They're right there near each other. Walk out of either port and take a left and keep walking. It's called Ernesto's. Great food, great service, and again, so close to the port. Great way to start or finish your day before or after any tours that you have booked. It is a lot more authentic and very cheap, and the service and the views and the food are just completely unrivaled in this area to me.
Yeah, I don't know how many people we've taken there. When whoever decides to go with us on our trips to Cozumel, that's a staple number one stop for us is Ernesto's. Great fajitas, margaritas, homemade salsa, guacamole. I mean, it is so good. And plus you can see the cruise ship, so it's got beautiful views. But like Blake said, I mean, you're not going to go wrong with any restaurant in Cozumel. That's just our favorite.
So you're looking for food, that's our favorite. But one of the most popular things to do in Cozumel is the all-inclusive beach clubs. If you're going to stay there, a ton of people love to do this. And the reason why is they're very affordable, they're very easy to get to and from, and they provide a great value and just an easy, relaxing, fun day. So one of the most popular is the Mr. Sancho's Beach Club. We have done that multiple times. These places you pay a set fee. And you go in, they have access to the beach. They a lot of times have the beach, big blow up toys out in the ocean. They have nice pool areas, and it's all you can eat and drink for the duration of your stay. We had gone to Mr. Sancho's. Typically, that is a great one. It is probably the most popular one. But we were recommended by a couple of seasoned cruisers who had been multiple times to go to Paradise Beach, which is an all-inclusive resort. Very similar to Mr. Sancho's, just down the road. These are all within about 10 minutes. They're in a line there. You hear Playa, Carlos and Charlie's, Mr. Sancho's, there's Paradise Beach. They're all right there in a row. But we went to Paradise Beach, just down the road from Mr. Sancho's. $60 for adults, $47 for kids. So for $120, Audrey and I went in, and it was all we could eat and drink. If you know anything about bar tabs lately, very good deal. We took advantage of that, and I felt like it was a great deal.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And, of course, I felt like we did party a little harder because it was my birthday.
It was Audrey's 30th birthday
when we were there.
Cozumel.
So, the story was set on how the day was going to go. Man, we had a blast. There was waiters that greeted you right when you walked in the door. And of course, and I was wearing a sash that said, "It's my birthday."
Of course.
So, of course. So they were so friendly as soon as we got there. They were showing us around, kind of gave you the grand tour when you first got there. And the drinks started flowing. The food started coming out. I think they brought us like a welcome guacamole and chips, and the party had started. And the service throughout the entire day was fantastic. And they had a pool area. I know Blake's going to show footage of that. Pool areas, lounge chairs, blow up things for the kids. I mean, it was something for everybody. I mean, you could take the whole family there and everyone would have a fun day.
Absolutely. And we really did enjoy this. It was less crowded than Mr. Sancho's had been typically. And again, the service was, from the second we got there to the second we left, was top notch. And again, the beach area was fine. Cozumel's not known for its beaches, really. We said that at the beginning, but it was fine. There was a kind of a blow-up play area for the kids. If you wanted to do that for an additional fee on top of your $60, I want to say it was like $10, $15.
Yeah, I think it was like $10. It wasn't that expensive, and there was tons of kids. Adults can go out there too if you want to, spend time and make memories, as some people say, with their kids. You can all go out and do that. But I will say, I mean, they had a gorgeous pool area, which is where we spent a lot of the day, was in the swimming pool. And they had rings or floatable rings and lounge mats in the pool, which I found really interesting because I love a good flotation device, as you could say. And so that was neat that they had that too. And that's where we found ourselves most of the day, was by the pool. And the waiters came to the pool. They also went out to the beach. And so you could find a waiter to get food or drinks anywhere.
Recommendation when you go to these places. I know a lot of people, they are very popular, go to these places. Tip them when you get there. Give them, we tend to, I mean, I plan on tipping between $80 and $100 for the day. I know that sounds like a lot, but keep in mind that it's all inclusive, okay? They're not making any more money off of you after they originally get your money. Now, these places are the service is good either way, okay? Don't mistake what I'm saying. I'm just saying that there ends up being quite a few people there by the end of the day. The thing that separates you between the person next to you is the tip. So you want to really keep your drinks flowing. You want to get the best service. Do about half your tip at the beginning. Give about, we did, I think we ended up tipping about $100 total. There were 4 of us, so keep in mind that's not a lot in between, but we gave them about $50 before, we gave them about $50 after, and they understood that we were going to pay them for great service. We wanted great service, but we didn't expect that just for free. We knew they were working really hard for us, and because of that, so it's always a good tip that I recommend at those places because, again, the obligation is there. They're going to bring you food and drinks. They're going to give you what you pay for. They were very nice, even before we tipped. But when it gets crowded, the thing that's going to keep the food and drinks flowing for you at that point is going to be the fact that you took care of them as well. And
I will say, too, we got there pretty early. Those places open as soon as the ship is, allowing you off. Those places, you can get there 8:30, 9 o'clock, depending on what time your cruise is going to dock there, and take advantage of the full time. I mean, don't wait till lunchtime to go there, because you can get there early, get a good spot if you want to go out on the beach, get a good spot in the lounge chair, or find a good spot in the pool. And I mean, we took advantage of a full day, which is one thing I also loved about it too. And the tip thing, I mean, we did that at Mr. Sancho's too. So like Blake said, I mean, that rule applies anywhere you go. on these all-inclusive resorts is a great recommendation. The service is going to be good no matter where you go, but it's a great thing to remember whether you're at Playa Mia, Mr. Sancho's, or you go to the new location that we're talking about. It's all definitely advised. Definitely a good thing to remember.
And you don't have to do. I mean, I said $100. You know, that was between 2 different couples and four of us.
Yeah.
If you don't have the money, that's okay. I mean, you don't have to do that. I mean, they do work for tips, but just letting them know that you're gonna, you would like for them to take care. In fact, one of the waiters there was like, no, let me work for you. Do not.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, take the money because it's going to get busy here in a minute. And I just want you to make sure you can, and they do. And again, I think it's just that level of appreciation, showing them that, hey, listen, we want to have a good time, but we don't expect you to just favor us over everybody else just because we're nice. I mean, they're trying to make money. So that goes a long way at any all-inclusive, no matter where you're at.
Yeah.
Anywhere. So just a good tip that I've always practiced at these places. And so how do you get there? It's really easy to get there. I don't recommend a ship tour for these things. You're going to get cheated. You're going to pay the same amount of money for about half a day. I would recommend going on your own. When you get to the ports in Cozumel, go out front of either, no matter which port you're at, go out front. There's a big taxi line, very organized. It's going to be about $20 one way for a car ride, 4 to 6 to 8 people, about a $40 round trip. And it's about a 10 to 15 minute ride for the port area. When you get ready to leave, the taxis will be lined up out front. And then you just get back. We always allow an hour before all aboard to make sure you get back on time, just in case there's traffic problems or anything like that. Allow 1 hour before all aboard time, so if all aboard's 4:30, maybe head out at about 3:30. And again, we do recommend go ahead and getting there early, getting your spot, getting settled in, getting to know the staff.
Yeah,
building
absolutely.
that rapport before it gets really crowded. And again, Paradise Beach was not extremely crowded at any point.
No.
But like everything, at about 2:00 in the afternoon, it was at its peak crowded, and we had already established a relationship with Martine. Was excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent waiter. If you go there, I would ask for Martine.
Yeah, they knew where to find us.
Oh, man, he knew right where to find us.
Yeah.
And
it also didn't help that I had on
a
birthday sash, birthday hat, birthday earrings. I mean, we were living it up.
when you go to an all-inclusive resort and you start drinking tequila at 9 a.m., with the birthday sash on, you have declared your intentions, especially when you give the waiter $50.
Yeah.
They know right then that it's on.
Keep the drinks flowing, and Martine did a great job.
Martine did understand the assignment.
He did. Yes, he did. So if you're planning a birthday trip, I highly recommend a cruise to Cozumel.
Yes.
So if that's something you're looking to celebrate at any kind of special occasion, and you're wanting to just party and have a good time, the people of Cozumel are very welcoming.
That is Paradise Beach. We will put the website up on your screen. Again, $60 for adults, $47 for kids, all inclusive. All you can eat, all you can drink, chairs included, umbrellas included. Pool is great. I highly recommend hanging out in the pool area. You can do the beach if you want to, like whatever you want to do. If you're looking for an all-inclusive, just kind of a relaxed, easygoing
Absolutely.
beach stay with food and great staff, great wait staff, Paradise Beach is there. Backup plan. You like Mr. Sancho's? Nothing wrong with Mr. Sancho's. Go there.
No.
There's also Playa Mia, Carlos and Charlie's, multiple others. But I will say this: we've done all of those. Paradise Beach was absolutely our favorite.
Yes.
Other things, great shopping when you get back to the port. If you get back early and you're looking for a place to grab a margarita, maybe a couple of tacos, after you go to Paradise Beach, you're not going to be hungry. But
No.
If you do, Ernesto's is always there,
Yes.
just down the way. But on the whole, Cozumel, there's a reason it is so popular.
Yes.
Do not overlook Cozumel as a port of call. I know it's popular. I know everybody goes there. I don't look forward to it as much as I do some others because we've been there so often. But every time I get there, I have a wonderful time.
Yes.
It's got a great atmosphere. It's got a great vibe. It's got wonderful people. It's got a great culture. It's got great food. And I enjoy it every single time we go there.
Absolutely. And like Blake said, when we come back to the port, we don't ever just get back on the ship. And their port is a great place to hang out. There is some, more commercialized restaurants if you wanted to just go have drinks at the bar. There's also tons of shopping. And I don't know if you're gonna. I'm sure this picture has been shown before, but the one where we jumped off the dock.
Yes.
And so
this is at the International Pier.
Yes.
And there's a little swimming area
That's
there.
new.
We were not breaking the law, but it was kind of new. And right there, just in between Senior Frogs and
it's a newer place.
There was a newer place kind of right there near it.
had-
And you can just jump off and swim right there. It's
Yeah.
about 8 to 12 feet deep. There is some areas a little closer you could stand up. great to kind of cool off.
Yeah,
and,
it was awesome. They had a ladder you could just climb right back up on the dock and jump off again. And so I know Blake's shown that picture before.
Yeah, there's this iconic photo of Audrey, ship in background, in full 30th birthday mode, been drinking margaritas since 8 o'clock, and now we're bailing off into the ocean, which is always a great idea.
Yeah.
And I lost my wedding band, so I don't wear one.
Yeah, we haven't ordered another one.
No, it's gone, and it's why I wore a cheap one. Don't worry.
Yeah.
But it was gone, and we had a great time.
I just felt like I needed to explain that because I've had several people think that we just got, had a great time in Cozumel and just bailed off the dock just for the fun of it.
Misplaced.
No, I wanted
didn't
to.
do that.
No, I wanted to. I've had to tell many people that is actually a swimming area that is newer in the port of Cozumel, where the Royal Caribbean ships dock, and it's a great place to go hang out. Once you got back from your shore excursion, and you don't want to quite get back on the ship. It's another place to go find in the port area. So, anyways, just want to do a little clarification.
Yeah, you're already been like, you're still kind of a little wet from earlier in the day. You've been in the swim pool, and we went. And here's the deal: you go in. Little professional tip. You go to Senior Frog, okay, and they sell these cheap shots, okay? They'll be like 4 for $5.
Yeah.
Just be ready. It's an experience, okay?
I'm sure there's a picture you
whistle.
could show that too.
I'm not going to show it. I'm not going to show it. This is not going to do it because I've never done that. Ever. Not ever done that.
Ever. Norse Frog. He goes hangs out with his cousin, Senior Frog. That's why we know that.
Yeah, he has the skinny because he's everything bad we've ever done has been at the urging of Norse Frog.
Yes,
but just know what you're getting into when you do that. If you want to do like tame shots, maybe go to Ernesto's. Yeah, but they're going to start blowing a whistle, and what happens from there is going to be between you and the lady doing the shots. Yeah, and it's just so just know that. And also. Stay on ship time. Yes. Just keep an eye on the time. People tend to miss the ship in Cozumel. And when you're done with everything fun that we've talked about for the day, when you're done, breaking news alert. Hang on a minute. So when you're done for the day, after doing everything that we've just told you, go to the ship, go to an outdoor where you got a balcony, go outside. And the all-time number one rated activity in Cozumel, Mexico is watching the drunk people come in. Yes. Every single time. The ones that are about to miss the ship, sometimes there'll be 2 ships docked side by side.
That's even better.
We saw a guy, and let me tell you, we've unfortunately gotten at times inebriated in Cozumel. It's happened. It happens to everybody, professional or not. I've never come back to the ship in a wheelchair. No. There was a guy that he was coming back, and he stumbled, and he began to stumble. It was like the pier tilted on him. And it probably did in his eyes. And he fell, and he almost fell in the water. And the port authorities made him get in a wheelchair and take him the rest of the way so that way he didn't almost fall in. Yeah. Just make sure you save time to get back around to all aboard time, go outside and watch the drunk people come in. Yes. They'll have balloon hats.
Yes, the balloon hats are my favorite.
Shopping bags. People sometimes get left and they're running. You've seen the videos.
Running in the flip-flops.
That happens. It's not isolated. It happens on almost every cruise. And when it doesn't happen when we've been there, I get disappointed because it happens almost every time. But the number one rated Cozumel activity, get and watch the cruise. The people will start clapping and booing and cheering, and it is a sight to behold.
It is, yes.
And you don't get that anywhere else. You might get it occasionally in some other ports that are busy ports, but you get it. It's nothing like Cozumel where they've had tequila poured down their throats all day long. Yeah. They've lost track of time. They're running down. They're drunk. They got a balloon hat on that may or may not be inappropriate. And
it's a good time.
Oh, every single time.
It's a good time. And if you have kids, you can show them what not to do when you go to Cozumel, how not to act when you go to Cozumel. So it's a fun family activity.
Every time. Undefeated. So we talked about this last week when we talked about Costa Maya, but this includes Cozumel. We talk about the safety. There are safety concerns with Mexico. There have been State Department alerts urging tourists to be careful in Mexico. First of all, you need to understand a lot of that activity that has happened that you hear about is a long way away from these places. But I need you to understand something about Cozumel and a lot of these areas is they are safe, or if that's what you're asking. We've run around Cozumel on our own in taxis. They are very, very safe. Cozumel in particular is very, very safe. I know people think it's near Cancun. I mentioned it is 51 miles from Cancun. It is very, very safe. And I always say this, there's crime in these areas just like anywhere else. You need to be vigilant. I'm not telling you just don't worry about crime. You need to be vigilant.
Yeah.
But we always say this, it's probably safer than areas that you're familiar with in the United States that you run around. Good example, the crime rate in Cozumel per capita, it's based off of every 1,000 people. The crime index in Cozumel is 34.38. I believe that most people think Nashville's a pretty safe area. A lot of people travel there. We live there. We ran around there. We walked on the streets.
Yep.
The crime index in Nashville is 48.61. So 34.38 in Cozumel, 48.61 in Nashville. That is per neighborhood scout.
That's insane. That's absolutely insane.
So almost 12 crimes per 1,000 people are committed less in Cozumel, Mexico, than in the Nashville area.
So the moral of this story is please don't be afraid to travel. Don't be afraid to go out on your own, because a lot of times the places that you live and the places that we think are completely safe, we go on the weekends or we live there, are a whole lot more dangerous than traveling to these ports of call where tourism is their number one source of income.
And I'm not saying that Nashville's unsafe. I think Nashville is pretty safe for a large city. It's just not as safe as Cozumel.
Yeah. So go have a good time.
Mind blown.
Yeah.
So just keep in mind, don't worry about that. Keep your head on a swivel. Be vigilant. Be aware of your surroundings. Do research before you go and you venture out on your own about these things. Find out what the crime rate is in a place that you're going. That'll ease your mind. Not that crimes don't happen. They do. Be very, very vigilant. I'm not telling you not to worry about them, but just don't say, I'm not going out there. It's in Mexico. That's not fair.
Yeah.
To the people of Cozumel and Playa del Carmen in those areas, it's not fair to them because they do actually have a very safe area. They do work hard to keep crime under control. It's in their best interest. It is their livelihood as tourism. And it's actually probably safer than some of the areas you run around in the United States. Just because people look different, talk different, act different, they have a different passport than you, does not mean that they're more dangerous than the people from where we live. So please be careful of that. So that is it. That is Cozumel. Great place to visit. Don't overlook it.
No.
Just make sure that you watch the drunk people come in.
Yes.
And whatever you kind of want to do, it's at your kind of world your oyster in Cozumel. But if you're looking for all-inclusive beach resorts, Paradise Beach, looking for a good local bite to eat, Ernesto's.
Yep, all those things. And stop and say hi to North Frog's cousin, because Senor Frog would love it. And make sure you tell them, hey, I know North Frog. Might get you a discount. Who knows?
Maybe not. Might get you thrown
Maybe
out.
not.
I don't know. Depends on what he's done.
Might also get you thrown out.
Complete liability. So next week is Independence Day week, so we will be taking the week off of Independence Day, not because we're really taking the week off, but because you're taking the week off, and there's a pretty good chance you're probably not going to watch or listen to the podcast. So our next show will be July 13th, and we have a cool, I'm really looking forward to this. We're talking about the vacation mindset on the next episode. So we've wrapped up our 7-night Western Caribbean cruise. You can go back and watch all those episodes on YouTube or listen to them wherever you get your podcast. But we're talking about the vacation mindset. What we're talking about is how to get the maximum enjoyment out of your vacations, how to get yourself in the mindset to enjoy your trip. Things like flexibility, things like how to approach it mentally, how to handle other travelers, how to handle crowds, how to make yourself happy is dependent on your personality. I spend a lot of time on this personally. I've mentioned this and I mean this. I get overstimulated at times.
Yeah.
It takes me a little bit to unwind. And so speaking from some experience there, how do you get into the vacation mindset? How do we treat other people on vacation? How do we think about our trips? How do we get the maximum enjoyment, appreciation to create the best memories from our vacation? And that's what we're talking about July 13th.
That's going to be great. I absolutely love that idea because, a lot of times you only get 7 days or you only get, maybe you're just an extended weekend.
Yeah,
that's
sure.
all you get. And you want to make sure you maximize those 4 days, 7 days, whatever it is to your fullest, ability. So you come back ready to go back to work at that, nobody likes to do that, but at least you can take the time off and get some relaxation and get the maximum amount of relaxation that you definitely deserve. That's for sure. So,
Talking about the vacation mindset, week off next week for Independence Day, American Independence Day, and then July 13th is our next show. How to get the maximum enjoyment of your vacation and get into the vacation mindset.
I love that.
Subscribe to us on YouTube. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Follow us on all social medias at CruiseNReview. That's Cruise, the letter N, Review. Make sure you go to our website. We are travel agents. We full service travel. Wherever you want to go, whatever you want to do, we can help you book that. Anything, not just cruises, anything you would like. You can follow us on all social medias and listen on the go wherever you get your podcast, or go to CruiseNReview.com/podcast to see all of our watch and listen options.
Make sure you follow Norse Frog on Instagram and Twitter. That's at Norse Frog. He posts a lot of fun content, especially kind of, cruising through the frog is he posts what he likes to do.
Nice mural painted of himself.
Yeah.
He's got that. It's on there right now. You can go see that.
Which we had a big discussion about before we got on this, that was supposed to be the background of our podcast. But Blake over here, Mr. CEO, overruled. I'm just in there. I'm switching.
We'll see it.
Yeah.
But we're not.
Why don't you make a comment? Tell us your opinion.
Yeah.
Make
we'll
a
put it up.
comment.
Here it is. Here's the picture right now. This is Norse Frog's painting. If you want to leave us a comment, you want to leave us about whether it should replace the map as the background of a travel podcast, you just let us know.
Yeah. We'd love to know your opinion. He would love to know your opinion because he thinks he knows it all. He thinks he knows it best, and that would get us more viewers, etc.
Have a wonderful Independence Day.
Yes.
Have an excellent time. We will see you July 13th. If you are traveling, safe travels, bon voyage, get into the vacation mindset, enjoy it, make memories, and we will see you again on July 13th as we talk about the vacation mindset. I'm Blake.
I'm Audrey.
That is Norse Frog, the executive producer. We will see you next time. Bye-bye for now.
Hasta luego.